8 News at 6 starts now.
We begin this Thursday with the weather where you live.
We are keeping an eye on storms moving through the area. Many of you have already seen the rain as well as some thunder, some lightning. This is video we shot outside of our studio just a little bit ago.
Currently, Dominion Virginia Power reports about 5,000 customers in the metro area without electricity. Let's go to JB for the latest.
Oh, those squalls came through right on schedule, right around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now this line's pushing to the east of us here in the area and extends from around Gilmark all the way down to just about Alberta and South Hill. There's some other showers behind we'll have to deal with tonight, but they don't have the bite of the one that came through earlier. Here's what's going on. You can see them from the northern neck right on down to the southeast, moving in on Gloucester right now. And again, these guys have all got some gusty winds, some heavy downpours. When they came through Richmond International Airport, it wasn't the strongest part of them. They had wind gusts to about 40+ miles an hour in a few spots. Here are the strong storms down by Stony Creek, and that's going to pack a wallop. The good news is, look at what happens tomorrow. Things get a lot nicer, a little fog in the morning, and then a nice afternoon headed your way with a temperature of 85. With the weekend, problems there. We'll talk about it coming up.
Developing right now, Richmond and Henrico police teaming up to put the brakes on violence in the area.
They are asking for your help tonight as homicides spike in the area. Our 8 News reporter Matthew McClellan just out of a briefing with much more. Matthew?
Those numbers definitely alarming, you guys. 27 homicides this year so far in Richmond, more than half of those over the summer. Now over in Henrico, 10 homicides for the year, bringing the total of lives lost to 40, nearly 40 I should say, for the year. Many of the victims in their teens and 20s. Police say the Laburnum corridor along the county and city line has been a high crime area this summer with drugs connected to many of those murders. Now on a positive note, police say they have taken in more than 400 illegal firearms since January. Henrico and Richmond officers say they are working together, communicating consistently, even going on patrol together to crack down on these violent crimes in this streak and keep these homicides from happening. Reporting in Henrico, Matthew McClellan, 8 News.
Just in tonight, Richmond police need your help to identify a man in a surveillance video. They say he walked into the Days Inn on Midlothian Turnpike just before 11:30 last night and took cash from an employee before running away. If you know who this is, call Crime Stoppers.
Richmond police have identified the victims of the city's most recent fatal shootings. 33-year-old Juwan Hargrove and 21-year-old Anthony Addison died at the hospital after officers found them shot on Accommodation Street. 4 schools were locked down while police investigated in that area. No arrests have been made.
We just want to keep the guns out of the hands of crazy people. That's it.
Just 2 weeks after his daughter was shot and killed on live TV, that's Andy Parker taking his fight for gun control to the U.S. Capitol.
Our 8 News anchor Amajoy Burnett has more from D.C. on the passionate plea from Allison Parker's dad.
Since her death, this is the first time Allison Parker's dad has taken part in such a big gun control rally. Today, he took his fight to Capitol Hill. It's become an annual event where gun control groups show up near the steps of Congress demanding that lawmakers pass tougher gun control laws.
Thank you. We're going to get this done.
In the group today, a father thrust into the spotlight after his daughter was killed on live TV.
Enough is enough. You think that the tipping point, I always thought, well, you know, after Sandy Hook and Aurora and, you know, and the Charleston shootings, I mean, it was like, surely something's going to get done. But I think this time, it may be different because it happened on national TV.
For years, groups have been fighting for Congress to pass tougher background check laws before a gun is sold. But there's also been strong opposition.
I am sick and tired of gutless politicians who are scared of the NRA.
Today, Governor Terry McAuliffe said only one thing will change the current system, and that's your vote.
Elections matter. Last year, 36.7% of the eligible voters voted. So no one paid a price. Same old status quo.
Andy Parker says he'll continue to meet with anyone on his quest for more gun control, and that includes folks at the NRA. In Washington, D.C., Avajoy Burnett, 8 News.
The NRA claims a bill sponsored by Senator Tim Kaine makes universal background checks a possibility. And they say, quote, that would have done nothing to prevent the tragedy at Roanoke. The alleged shooter passed not one but 2 background checks. NRA has been calling for meaningful mental health reform so those suffering from mental illness who are found to be a danger to themselves or others will not have legal access to firearms.
A major development tonight in the fight to test thousands of rape kits sitting in storage here in Virginia.
Thanks to a grant, critical DNA evidence will now be analyzed. 8 News investigator Carrie O'Brien was first to expose this backlog of kits in police departments across the state.
She's now here with the latest developments in her ongoing investigation. Carrie.
Amy Wan, unfortunately, cost has always been a factor in testing rape kits for DNA. But tonight, Virginia is getting $1.4 million to test the kits.
Sexual assault and sexual violence is a heinous crime, and it will not be tolerated in Virginia.
And tonight, a $1.4 million grant is making it easier for Attorney General Mark Herring to stick to that promise. There are more than 2,000 untested rape kits right now sitting in police evidence rooms across the Commonwealth. This grant will make sure they get tested and possibly bring justice to the victims.
This is going to be really important to do the testing, expand our database, potentially catch perpetrators, and I know it's just going to mean so much to survivors, advocates, law enforcement.
Testing a kit for DNA evidence is an extensive and costly process, ranging from $500 to $3,000 a kit. But for survivors like Williamsburg resident Debbie Smith, who has led the fight for funding the testing of rape kits, the results can provide closure and lead to an arrest.
The only thing that had the evidence that we needed was in that kit.
The grant money Virginia was awarded today is part of a bigger pledge of $80 million from the White House and the New York City District Attorney's Office. The money is being dispersed across the country in hopes of testing 70,000 kits nationwide. Vice President Joe Biden says testing these kits is the least we can do for the victims of sexual assault.
It takes an enormous amount of courage to stand up and talk about what happened to you.
The portion of money that Virginia is receiving is coming from the New York City DA's office. It's not taxpayer dollars, but money that police departments gathered from criminal activity. Amy?
Carrie, we also have new developments here. The man accused of violently abducting a woman off of Philadelphia Street has pleaded guilty to a federal kidnapping charge. You'll recall Delvin Barnes is also accused of abducting a 16-year-old Richmond girl. Barnes reportedly needed travel money, and that's the reason he says he grabbed the woman in Philadelphia, forcing her into his car last November. You'll recall Barnes and the victim were found in Maryland after a 3-day manhunt. Before the Philadelphia abduction, police say Barnes abducted a 16-year-old Richmond girl. He's accused of hitting her with a shovel and taking her to Charles City County to a home there where he doused her in bleach and gasoline. The teen was able to escape. Barnes was facing multiple charges here in Virginia, but those charges were dismissed in December. Authorities have said they plan to ask a grand jury to indict Barnes on state charges after the federal case in Philadelphia is complete. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
Some lawmakers are calling on Governor Terry McAuliffe's administration to release an ABC report involving UVA student Martise Johnson. Johnson's controversial arrest sparked national protest and calls for changes to the agency here in the Commonwealth. But a state investigation into what happened is being held under wraps. Charges against Johnson were dropped, and the report found that agents did nothing inappropriate. Senator Frank Wagner and Delegate Todd Gilbert sit on committees that oversee ABC. They want to see the report and to let the public know that changes don't need to be made at the agency.
The taxpayers paid for this report. The taxpayers have a right to know what's in the report. This is a national news item. The public needs to know.
The governor says the report is a personnel document and under state law can't be released without a waiver from the individuals who are named in it. State Senate candidate Joe Morrissey is withdrawing from his race to deal with a medical problem. He's currently receiving care for a paralyzed diaphragm. In a statement, Morrissey says he's enjoyed campaigning, but at this time, quote, "My primary concerns are my health and growing family. I'm 100% certain that I'll fully rehabilitate my diaphragm and make a 100% recovery."
More news where you live. The Fort Lee Lodge will start operating under privatization plans at the end of the month. The 1,000-room structure will become part of the Intercontinental Hotels Group. The general manager says most customers won't notice any changes except about a $5 price increase. There's less than a month left before the former Sons of Confederate license plates are no longer valid. More than 1,600 new Sons of Confederate veterans license plates have been shipped out, and they feature Confederate military leaders, but no Confederate battle flag. Governor McAuliffe called for the flag's removal after the Charleston church shootings. The suspect appeared in several photos with the battle flag, you'll remember. The new plate should be in place by October 3rd. The old plates then will be invalid the next day.
But it makes us feel appreciated, and that's nice.
All right, check this out.
Heroes don't wear capes. They wear badges. Thank you for what you do every day for our community. And it came
last week, a Fredericksburg family dropped off more than 20 homemade thank you cards to police officers there. They wanted to remind the force they are supported and appreciated. The officers are reading their cameras on camera, reading the cards on camera to show their thanks. Very nice.
It's always nice to thank a police officer for keeping us safe and doing what they do
every day,
every single day.
All righty. A Virginia woman who said she won the lottery may now be facing charges. Find out why. Still ahead tonight.
Plus a recall alert. Find out which brand of apples you may want to throw out and why.
Check out these back-to-school photos sent in by you, our Happy 8 News viewers.
A lot of cuties there. You can enter your photos at WRIC.com for a chance to win a $100 gift card to Saxon Shoes. You have until Monday to enter, and 3 winners will be chosen. You must enter your photos on our website, WRIC.com, to be qualified. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. In national news, a series of freeway shootings in Phoenix has drivers on edge. There have been 10 in the last 12 days. Police suspect a serial shooter. Every one of them has happened along the same 8-mile stretch of highway. And there are surveillance cameras on that interstate, but so far no suspects have been identified. Fortunately, no one's been seriously hurt. Many drivers are choosing to avoid that interstate altogether.
More news where you live now. A new report shows childhood hunger is growing more quickly in Virginia's suburbs than it is in urban or rural areas. The Virginia Fair Share Education Fund found of the children eligible for free or reduced lunches, 48% are from the suburbs, while 25% are from cities. 15% are from rural areas. The rest live in mid-sized towns. News where you live in Chesterfield. High school cafeterias are returning to the federal breakfast and lunch program. And what this means for you is that high school students will now be able to apply for free or reduced price meals. Even if you have more than one child, you only have to apply once per family. And we have a link to the application for you on our website, WRIC.com.
New developments now on a story we told you about earlier this week. A Northern Virginia woman who claimed she'd won $20,000 on a scratch-off lottery ticket. She was denied because her ticket machine printed it incorrectly. Now, the state lottery says Ardella Newman has admitted to taping 2 separate tickets together to claim that prize. And that's a Class 6 felony. Officials are still determining whether to press those charges. John?
All right, here across central Virginia, the strong squalls moving to the east, but still a few good ones just down to the south of us. We'll talk about some improvement for Friday coming up next.
We're back with a consumer alert. Martin's and Giant stores are recalling Appealing brand apple slices. The pre-cut slices may be contaminated with listeria. Both the green and red apple slices are affected. There haven't been any reports of illnesses, though. If you have the product, throw it away and bring in your receipt for a full refund.
Here's an 8 News consumer alert. Parents, Chevy's introducing new vehicle technology that could keep your teen driver safer. The 2016 Chevy Malibu features Teen Driver, a built-in system that tracks car data, including the distance traveled and how fast your teen is going. The system mutes the radio system until seat belts are fastened too. Parents can also have teens get audio and visual warnings if they travel over parent-set speed limits.
Tomorrow night, Richmond International Raceway is partnering with Virginia 529 to honor first responders and military members on the anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. 2 state troopers who responded to the Pentagon will serve as co-grand marshals for the race. Local firefighters and police will wave an American flag during pre-race ceremonies. Fans will be encouraged to sign a memorial banner. And John, we have a little bit of unsettled weather, but will it clear out for the big NASCAR races?
The race tomorrow night looks fine. This Saturday's race, we've been telling you all week long, looks like there are going to be problems for it, and that could be an issue. Now, the rain that we've had today really knocked temperatures back. We're down into the low to mid 70s right now. You can see 76 degrees over in Fredericksburg, Tappahannock. Ashland's checking in at 74. Down the south side, we're still checking in the lower 70s. I should notice the lone stalwart holding out. It's Williamsburg checking in at 88. Why? The showers and thunderstorms are just getting there right now. You can see they extend from the northern neck all the way down through Southside. So from Williamsburg, and the airport's actually kind of right down here, just out where the rain hasn't gotten to. Back down, as you can see, to Stony Creek. They are banging and clanging away down there, down by Jim Kitt's place out there in Stony Creek. So it's pretty nasty weather going on for them. And those showers are moving out of the way, but there is another band of showers with maybe a little heavier rain embedded in there. We're going to see some of that come through later on this evening. So still another opportunity for another band of showers to come by here if you're going to be outside tonight. And I wanted to go out a little bit, show you what's going on. This rain sweeping through over us. Again, it was very warm, very humid. Sky all the way up to 89 degrees. Now, things are improving for us. We're getting cooler temperatures tomorrow and less humidity. The front's marching through the state, but back to the west here, the next system, and that's going to be the guy we have to deal with on Saturday. It looks like it's going to make things unsettled then. Now, early this evening, the showers will start to fade out over us. That second band kind of slides by, and it's all done by 11:30 p.m. And then overnight, the clouds break. We'll get a little fog in here when you wake up tomorrow morning at 7:30. Friday, though, looks fine for everything you've got going on into Friday afternoon around 1 o'clock. We'll have mostly sunny skies during the afternoon. Hit 4 p.m. We look good. And into the evening hours, things are nice for the Xfinity race. Any of the high school football games going on that you're planning to head to should be a comfortable night for it. But late at night, here come the clouds coming back in over us. Here, maybe as early as Saturday morning, some showers in the western part of the state. Timing on Saturday is going to be critical on everything, and I think these showers may hold on a little bit later on into the evening hours. So this kind of has them zipping by at least the first round early on in the day. But I think Saturday evening, still going to have showers hanging in here across the area. And Saturday's temperatures, depending upon what time the showers are going to show up, lower 80s, middle 80s over us. So a couple of storms early this evening, then overnight, partly cloudy, dropping down to 67. Tomorrow, it looks good over us. Partly cloudy in the morning, mostly sunny in the afternoon, up to 86 degrees. And then we hit the 8-day forecast. Saturday does not look like a good day. Maybe a lingering shower Sunday morning. And then things clearing up Sunday afternoon, 75. Nicer weather all of next week with some nice early morning low temperatures.
What do tacos and unicorns have in common? There'll be a few of the emojis available with Apple's new iOS 9 operating system.
The taco emoji has been highly anticipated. Other new emojis include a hot dog, a cheese wedge, burrito, champagne bottle, and popcorn. Those are some big ones that, you know.
Does that mean if I text a burrito emoji to Chipotle, I get a free burrito? I would hope so.
It.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
They're telling us no.
I was just told in our ear, no. I was really hoping that would work.
What's coming up in sports, Chip?
Well, our 8 Sports Blitz rivalry of the week has been fairly one-sided over the years, but 2015 could be the year the streak ends. Find out what, who, when, and why next on 8 Sports. The unofficial start to the weekend begins on 8 Sports. Welcome, Richmond. The NFL regular season is here. Patriots and Steelers kicking it off tonight. For the Burgundy and Gold, it starts on Sunday versus the Miami Dolphins. After less than favorable preseason off the field with yet another RG3 controversy, the losses of Niles Paul and Junior Gillette to season-ending injuries, head coach Jay Gruden has the best 53 players on the roster he believes to be the tough guys Washington has lacked of late. Now he has 3 days to put those best 22 on the field for game day.
One thing, if you want to change culture, you want to be a tough physical football team, and you just can't say that. You got to get people in your building that are tough and physical. We feel like we added the toughness that we're looking for. Now it's a matter of going out, handling adversity, playing hard, and keeping that toughness level up at a consistent basis.
1 day away from our next 8 Sports Blitz, this week's rivalry of the week, we turn to the private sector. Trinity Episcopal versus Collegiate. The Cougars have had the upper hand, but as 8 Sports Director Mitch Carr reports, the Titans have the motivation.
September 5th, 2014.
We are up 3 touchdowns.
Trinity quarterback Blake Bowen remembers a hard-hitting game. Bowen believes a different hit that knocked him out of a game Collegiate eventually came back to win was late and dirty. Now, there's a score to settle.
Oh, I have this one marked down. This is the game for me of the season.
There's nothing malicious planned. The Titans just want to beat the Cougars for the first time since football returned to Trinity.
It would feel real great to me just because we've been getting stomped by them, I guess.
it'd just be good for us as a program.
We're just going to play to the whistle, and stop at the whistle, and play our game.
Collegiate senior Jack Reef-Snyder knows Trinity's a good team, no matter its motivation.
I try to tell the guys that are new to the team, juniors especially, who haven't lost a game, that we're going to have to fight every inch in this game to get the win.
Nobody wants to lose to an in-town opponent.
We asked collegiate coach Mark Paleo, can it really be a rivalry when one team always wins?
I think any time when you get two local schools that are going to line up against each other, it's a rivalry. Everyone wants to beat the other person.
Well, this is clearly a rivalry for Bowen and Trinity. And after the Cougars see this,
I think it already is a rivalry, but beating them will just be icing on the cake.
They'll probably feel the same way.
Game will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We'll be there live for 8 Sports Blitz, and that's going to do it right now for 8 Sports on the airwaves. But we've got a lot more online. Hot off the press is our 8 Sports NFL season preview and picks. Head to WRIC.com to check them out. I'm Chip Riera. 8 News puts the finishing touches on the evening after the break.
Well, here across Central Virginia, the weather gets nicer tomorrow, which means high school football games should be pretty good if you're headed out to one of them. For example, we've got the game with Meadowbrook and Highland Springs at 7 o'clock. Should be about 81 degrees there. Not far down the road, Thomas Dale at Varina. Look for a kickoff temperature of 80. Partly cloudy skies again expected tomorrow here across Central Virginia, but it's back to the showers and thunderstorms on a Saturday with a high temperature of 74. Then things clear up on Sunday. Sunday's a good day, 75 degrees. Look at all the nice weather next week. And that, gotta tell you, there's at least one day next week. It's Tuesday morning when some places west of us could start the day in the upper 40s.
Oh my goodness. Say it ain't so.
Too soon.
Almost the dawn of a new season. We don't like it. Well, thanks for joining us.
We're back at 11. We'll see you then.